Hi, my name is Mia, and welcome back to the App Section, the show where we talk about pop culture, music, and fashion. Today we're talking about how to fumble your entire brand audience in a 1-minute ad. For the past month, we've had these really good extremes of good ads and bad ads happening. First, it kind of got kicked off with the controversial Sydney Sweeney ad saying that she had good genes, which a lot of people took as a double entendre for both genes genetically and jeans the pants. And her being a, blonde, blue-eyed, white girl saying she has the best jeans maybe rubbed a few people the wrong way. Versus we had some other jeans ads like Beyonce's Levi's ad and then the newest Gap Cat's Eye ads, which were a lot more appealing, especially to the Gen Z demographic. They were fun. They told a story that wasn't racist, and they really got their audience. And something about the Sydney Sweeney jean ad is that Sydney Sweeney's branding all kind of leans heavily towards a male focus, specifically a white male focus. And this isn't any hate particularly on Sydney Sweeney. It's just whatever her branding team has come up with, that's always how she's leaned. And even, selling her bathwater to people was kind of a controversial tactic, money-making scheme that she did. Versus, Beyonce and Cat's Eye, those are for the girls, aka the people who seemed like these jeans were being advertised for, which was why their ads made more sense. You could see they were comfortable, they were good to move around in for the Cat's Eye ad because they were jumping around, dancing, and also Cat's Eye is infamous for their diversity in the K-pop group. They were showcasing diversity and also showcasing, these were actually usable jeans instead of ones that you struggle to wiggle up your hips and make your butt look kind of flat. And then luckily for them, Beyonce just got the jeans to make those jeans look good, the actual jeans to make those look good. So that entire ad made me want to go get a pair, even though Beyonce and I's butts do not look the same. But, maybe the Levi's jeans can fix that. Or even in her ad, she's walking around in them. She's, taking people's orders. She's working in them. Jeans come from a place of the working class. They're supposed to be a staple in the closet for everyday people to move, walk around, and live your life. Everyone wears jeans, from the highest top-end model celebrities down to the mom in the minivan who has spit up on her sweater and is rushing to get to after-school soccer practice. It's a common thread throughout the entire fashion industry, which means that they need to be versatile and useful, and not hard to get on, preferably. But something that brands really need to work on sometimes is remembering who your audience is in your head, and therefore who you cast in these ads, who you're putting as the face of campaigns, especially when you're putting them on social media, a network primarily used by younger audiences, whether that be Gen Z or Gen Alpha. You have to look at their branding, their picture, what people know and think about them. And yes, Sydney Sweeney is a very pretty girl. No one was ever disputing that. But the people who are obsessed with her or would probably go out and buy jeans because of her aren't maybe the people that ad was supposed to be targeting. Quite frankly, I think maybe a whole bunch of white men went out to go and buy jeans from Sydney Sweeney that won't fit them at all, but they can say they have the same jeans as Sydney Sweeney. e.l.f. decided to cast Heidi N. Closet and Matt Rife in a campaign together, and while Heidi N. Closet is a great example of a good person to use for marketing, drag queens are infamous for having the best makeup on the scene, long-lasting through sweaty sets and all that kind of stuff. Very good person to have for a makeup brand. Matt Rife maybe fell a little bit short of expectations of what an e.l.f. campaign should have. For one, he's known for making several domestic violence jokes about women, and then when, he had the chance to apologize, went back and said, it's just not for his audience. But the reason he got cast in that ad in the first place is because his demographic is primarily women. So there's a disconnect in his own marketing team, or his own brain, apparently, of who his demographic and audience is. But for e.l.f. to not really do the proper research and for it to go through as many hands as it needed to get to the point where it's now on our screens and nobody said anything about that, knew anything about that, maybe thought that that would cause a problem, is a little bit crazy to me. And so unfortunately now Heidi N. Closet, this big moment that could have been for her, is being overshadowed by the fact that people really don't like Matt Rife, and they really don't like him being in a makeup campaign as a straight white man who, as far as I know, doesn't really wear makeup. He's not really a selling point for makeup. There's nothing about makeup as a product that connects to Matt Rife. Unless maybe he's secretly wearing a little bit of foundation and eyeliner and telling all his... I was about to get mean. Unless Matt Rife is secretly our next James Charles, I don't think that he was the correct pick for this campaign. Meanwhile, as we all know, I'm a huge fan of the last season of Love Island, and Nick and Alandria just did a campaign for Nyx. And this makes a huge amount of sense because in the show, there were several times where like Alandria's lip combo would come off on Nick as they were kissing, and he'd be like, leave it there. Okay. And so someone even said like only they could sell a lip liner that for being transferable. Usually everyone wants something non-transferable, stays all day, X, Y, and Z. Literally in the ad, you see it actively transferred to his mouth and face. It's hilarious. And that is the correct way to put a white man in a beauty campaign. Put him in a sense that actually makes sense if you're trying to do that. Nick has connection to makeup because he's dating Alandria, and Alandria's face card, makeup card, all of that never declines, and everybody is foaming out the mouth to get any semblance of what she does on her to copy on ourselves. She is currently the next it girl in the making, if not already there, and so her man is kind of just along there for the ride, and that's okay because we like them together. Gen Z is not an easily duped audience, and we really crave authenticity, and so brands really need to focus on looking at who they're casting, what's their branding, what is the branding and message that the brand itself is trying to share to the consumers, us, and will we actually like it? And so, you know, this fumble for e.l.f. is really big because e.l.f. was a very popular brand with me, with other Gen Z girls, and now I'm gonna maybe be a little bit more reluctant to reach for them when I go out and I have to restock my makeup. And that's not to say that e.l.f. can't recover from this, you know, no one's really canceled forever, but maybe they'll think twice the next time that they go out and do their casting for an ad. That's my take on it, and I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Bye!